Okay, so we get through how we met, but how could it go so wrong?
It's so bad, like the irresponsibleness. One time we had to sleep in our car. We had a catering gig, a event we were supposed to do in Vegas.
Because that was the business that you all were running, right?
Right. So we get to Vegas. So of course he hits the casinos like he normally would, and he gambles all the money away. He loses it, and he loses big. So then we don't have enough to sustain continuing to pay for our room for the rest of the trip. So we end up having to sleep in our car. Then we have to pack up all of the food and stuff to take with us because he just doesn't do what he's supposed to do.
Wait a minute, Mrs. Brower, I'm sorry. How much money are we talking?
Maybe $2,500 we lost in that trip before we were even ever able to make the money from the event we were hired to do. That's what we started with, that he lost. So we
Did
lost
you actually
the client.
fulfill the job?
No, we did not.
So you couldn't go and buy the supplies that you needed so that you could actually do the event?
Your Honor, it was so bad that we slept in the car overnight, panhandling, literally begging to come up with enough gas just to get back home.
Mr. Brower?
Your Honor, I did go out and gamble that day. What happened is we went out for the catering gig, and as normal, the man that I am in my house, she's completely disrespectful. She won't talk to me with any respect. So when we got there, I did go out to try to clear my mind. We got into this huge spat. As normal, as you hear, she always talking about how financially irresponsible.
No, we're not even talking about how we always talk about. We're talking about this one gig. I want to know about going to Vegas. Y'all had a gig where people were going to pay you. So I have to assume, being somebody that gives events on a regular basis, I engage your company, and I'm counting on you to provide me catering services for an event that I'm giving. I don't know if I have to give you a deposit ahead of time or what have you, but you're supposed to provide the food, the serveware, everything for my event. I'm counting on you. You come to Vegas, I don't care what's going on in your family. Y'all better be ready to get my event together because I'm the client.
Yes, Your Honor.
So don't even start with what arguments y'all were having. What did you do when you got to Vegas?
I wasn't responsible. I went out and I gambled.
And that was the money that you all were supposed to use to fulfill the obligation, am I correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And when your wife says that y'all were forced to sleep in a car, that's because you couldn't pay for the room? Is that what it is?
Correct. Initially, I told her a lie and said I lost my wallet, but I did finally come clean. After losing the money, we did not have the money to stay, so we had to stay in the car.
He wasn't able to obtain the money to secure the room, so we weren't able to follow through with the commitment. We lost the client, which looks unprofessional on our part. That's a bad review. That's less business for us that he doesn't seem to understand because he only thinks about himself. So we ended up having to pack up all that food to haul back home after we had to beg for gas money to get there. And then he just doesn't seem to care. Like, it's never a big deal. It never matters to him that he put my face on the business, which was his idea to start the business in the first place, and then he doesn't want to do what he's supposed to do to ensure that it can stay running and run the business completely into the ground.
I'm gonna let you talk, Mr. Brower, because you're gonna have to explain this one, sir.
Okay. I did put her face on the business. The issue is I'm a businessman and she's a cook. The reason I feel like the business is going down is we can't find a comfortable middle. I want to find a budget. I need to know how much it costs us to produce each event. And when I do things like that with my wife, her response is, "You're making this not fun for me." She likes to buy the pretty napkins, the tablecloth,
I like to be
things like
professional.
that. And unfortunately, it's not in our budget. So as I am not doing everything that's responsible, but it's not all, there's no ownership on her part.